I'm still here. I was gonna make some stupid joke like, for those of you who were hoping otherwise, sorry about that, but um, I don't know. I just, it's interesting with, wanting to die and suicide where you can't help but joke about it. I guess at least that's where I'm coming from. It's hard not to want to joke about it because I guess that's a good coping mechanism for me. Um, and so if you saw my last video and you um were one of the many people that responded to it, I really do appreciate you understanding and sharing your own stories with me. Um, that really meant a lot to hear that other people struggle too. And I know other people do. It's not like I was awoken to the fact that so many other people deal with suicidal ideation or so many other people know someone who's dealing with suicidal thoughts. But when you have that evidence given to you, even if you know it's true, it just in some ways makes you feel better because you know that they get it. Um, I I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for the many of you that related to my video. Um, I'm really sorry that you're struggling too. Um, it's interesting. I see these videos of people who are struggling with addiction, where they're struggling with something, and they say, "Hey, if I could do it, you can do it too." Um, and I want to be able to say that, but I don't know if I could do it. Um, someone made a really good comment under my video, um, and they brought up a really good point that um, it's not necessarily that I want to die, it's just that I want relief from my pain, and that death seems like a really good option in that. Um, and they were really correct on that. I made sure to respond to that, and I said something like, "Yeah, you're right. I either want um, death or peace." And one of them is an immediate relief, and the other one is a I'm still going to be in pain. I peace is over there. Peace is out there. But that means that for the time being, I still have to deal with this pain. And I made an analogy of if you have this broken leg and you have to walk on it every day and you know you're going to be in pain, you don't know if you're ever going to receive treatment for it. Would you rather have it amputated right then and there or live every day with the possibility of being treated for that leg? Um, what would you do? And my brain says cut it off because I have this pain. It's immediate. It's consuming. And so if I have to wake up every single day, experiencing this challenge in my life that is debilitating, I'm unable to walk. I'm unable to function properly. I might lose my job because I can't walk as part of my job. I can't run anymore. I can't keep up with those around me on so many levels. Is it worth is it worth it? Um and so much of what I think is the answer to that to me is no. It's not worth it. Um I feel like analogies are a great way to speak and convey ideas, and so often I find myself using them. In this analogy, you could say, oh, well, you could have access to a wheelchair, you could use crutches. That way you can be more mobile. That way you can not have so much pressure on your leg. But I'm still in pain. My leg is still broken. The wheelchair didn't cure my leg. Medication or therapy isn't right now curing my leg. Um, and so, yes, there's a possibility that I may be okay, that I may be able to heal from these wounds that I have. And it's hard not to say, well, I just want the pain to end now, and say, to hell with it, I'm ending it now. Um, I do want to make a point where, um, yes, I understand that it takes a lot of work. I understand that in order to heal from these wounds, these scars, this trauma that I have to work for it. And I don't want you to think I'm complacent. Um, I'm not. I really, I really am doing everything in my power to move past this, but sometimes talking to someone once, twice a week about this isn't sufficient. Sometimes, this medication that, helps a little bit doesn't fix it, doesn't make it go away. Um, I did find in the last couple days that taking time to talk to the people who wrote me messages was hugely beneficial for me. I really felt connected. I really felt understood. Um, and I asked a lot of questions because I don't know the answer to a lot of what I'm struggling with. I don't know how to fix what I'm dealing with. Um, I I just want to feel okay. I don't want to have to, or not have to, but I don't want to participate in in an activity. And at the end of it, that those feelings set back in because I forgot about them. I don't want to have to overthink and wonder. Um, it's interesting because, and maybe I'll make a different video on this, um, but it's really hard to make plans and to have, be thinking about the future when you're not even sure if you're going to make it to next week. Because, let's say someone says to me, hey, and, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this condition will prevent me from even being here in 5 years. Do I want to be here in 5 years? If I'm feeling the same way that I do now, I do not want to be here in 5 years. It's frustrating that progression is so slow. You know, Everybody would love to press that button that just fixes them, but that button doesn't exist. But it's hard not to daydream about it, wishing, wanting some miracle cure to this problem. Um, I'm gonna go now. And thank you for listening to my rambling. Um, Putting my thoughts out into the universe and, you know, letting other people consider what I'm thinking is helpful to me because other people help me just by talking to me about this and sharing their stories and giving me advice and suggestions. I thank you, and I'll see you next time if I'm here.